Eastern Cape Design Focus is a program that focuses on young entrepreneurs, emerging entrepreneurs, give them a marketing platform, just a foot on the door in the industry, not necessarily to work, but to actually find their feet on their own as entrepreneurs. I didn't think of only actually the fashion, as much as I was putting fashion in the forefront as a designer, but I realized that there were also some students from visual arts as well that came along to say, oh, we would like to be part of the event as well. How can we participate? So I realized that with that audience, you know, we could use the audience in terms of marketing the young designers and networking for them in terms of building clientele and how could they be assisted in various forms. And then that's where I also realized then, okay, they are doing some production, but nobody's monitoring this production. Nobody, by the time they are coming to present their work, it's not, hence this program again became more and more stronger because now there were workshops that needed to be done before any event that I do to make sure that everybody's work is on the same level. Whatever we're putting out there in the market is of quality and some standards for whoever is willing to put some money or market some more or take it outside the country. But the platform is designed in a way that they work together with established artists because on their own, again, it doesn't make sense if they don't have reference to work with. That was my approach. How can we regroup and see what these people are doing and not kind of be greedy? You get something alone and not share. So let's put our resources together. Ulita, who is also my colleague, we've been talking about collaboration work for a while, past 3 years, but there was never a moment or a perfect timing for us to do something together.
This year, it so happened that we chatted. There's been, to a certain level, a cross-pollination of ideas because we have all sought out to, work on projects or ideas that would bring or help us leverage on each other's skills so that we will maximize the opportunity that it presented, not just to the students, but to us as researchers. Because this Eastern Cape Design Focus project is now dealing with a pertinent issue that focuses on a theme, together we live. You know, to be alive at this point in time has actually become a greatest privilege, which no one should really take for granted. So as artists, you know, artists are social commentators. The work that artists do kind of mirrors where society is at a particular moment.
When COVID-19 came and it was just actually after we came back from the Design Indaba in Cape Town, full of ideas, booming on what we're going to do and all these plans. And the Film Hub was opening up, you know, and it was being launched and everything. And I sat there during the launch and listening and thinking, how could I work with the space and with these young guys here who seem to be so energetic and know exactly what they are doing and how they're gonna go about it. I thought, you know, we need to do something with these guys. But then March, I think towards the end of March, there was a shutdown, a total shutdown. And when that total shutdown happened, actually, we couldn't go anywhere. 3 months down the line, I started getting calls. Sisi, we don't have any, we're running out of options, there's nothing. Don't you have, what is happening? Is there anything you can try and find for us in terms of, for making money? Because, you know, in terms of designers, it's events that helps them the most. You know, in fact, all of these artists, they depend mostly on events.
COVID-19 ne lockdown in affected kakhulu ngehlobo lokubana ngaba as a student, especially kule Department of Visual Arts. 80% academics zethu is based more on practicals. So besingalifumani ixesha enough to go at the studio and produce umsebenzi ngehlobo ebekusuppose menza ngalo, especially for ceramic students. So working with clay, it require your attention to be present, all that creative process. Yabona, so besingakwazi uba sifumane lo chance uba sikwazi ungena sisebenze, and we had to work from home. So we had to take umsebenzi nematerial siyosebenzela kwindawo esihlala kuzo, of which ibinto esibetha because most equipment esibanayo iba studio equipment ongazoba nayo from at home. And xa usekhayeni, there's everything, indawo olala kuyo, indawo opheka kuyo, having to keep social distance, not having enough creative space sokucinga kakuhle sosebenza, because we are not on that creative space oba unga generate ideas as right, especially if you're working with big sculptures. So to the concept of together we lived, my concept speaks about people living in the shack dwellings over the past 27 years of democracy. Ultimately, my work asks questions to people who are holding positions of power, as to ask whether those people are doomed to live and die in such inhumane conditions. Ezifana nelixesha ke ngoku kwesenwesi kwexesha le-coronavirus.
If you saw how clean East London was in the lockdown, amalwandle, like, it reminded me ukuba we're not looking well after our environment. Yes, it did affect the business because there were no exhibitions. We didn't have travel and go and market the products zethu. So I didn't dwell on that. How I became part of the Eastern Cape Design Focus was an invitation from Usisbusi. Knowing her and actually respecting the work that she does, I was keen. She spoke of the environment, which is something very close to my heart, and as well as she spoke of the collaboration within the artists of the Eastern Cape. So I make furniture, my business, and I upcycle tires and make furniture from.
At the beginning of the year 2020, Gallery Art Versatile and the Department of Arts and Culture had an incubation of stimulating the creative economy of the BCM through arts development. So apho ngeyona ndlela enothi indivulele incango, because I had a call from Mr. Ncokazi, who is my fine art lecturer, saying one of the 4 students that are selected to take part of this project. So for me, being an opportunity to grab and a great platform to perform and tell my story.
Unity is everything. There's a saying that united we stand, divided we fall. And we know for a fact that the COVID pandemic has really been divisive. And when it comes to us as the arts community, it is very important in that sense, because other people may think that artists or creatives compete among themselves. Sometimes there is space for that. But you know, when, as the arts community, we decide to be united, and we are therefore better positioned to tackle challenges which are common among all of us, and be able to triumph over those. There are so many things that require us to be united than divided.
In unity, we have one voice, one word. There's less fear because akho mfuna uba above the other. Akho mfuna uba we working for the same goal. I cannot say enough when it comes to unity within the arts. To together we live, you know, wisdom of crowds. Because when you are doing this alone, you are second guessing yourself in your little corner. You don't even know what everybody out there is doing or how they are doing it, you know. So the best way is to kind of regroup the people that you are trying to get their attention. Once they see that kind of independence and that kind of unity, it becomes easy to interact.